Welcome, wizards and basilisks, to the Spiritcast. It's a Yu Yu Hakusho Fancast. I am your maybe human host. Who knows what I am? Anyways, I'm a wizard. I love Yu Yu Hakusho, and in this podcast, we will go through the Yu Yu Hakusho anime and manga and explaining what's going on in media in general, comparing the two, what's the differences, and then talking about certain topics within the episode or having their own videos about certain topics. And so all that being said, there are plenty of spoilers. There's going to be lots of spoilers. You have been warned. So watch it or read it or go through it with me before you talk about this stuff. Because I'm going to be just talking about the episode. It's all going to just be out there on the table. So anyways, sit back, keep driving, do chores, whatever you're doing. You don't have to watch the screen. Just listen. Just listen to the sound of my voice. One and all. Alright, so the next episode we are looking at is episode, what is this, 3? 2? This is episode 2 of the podcast. So it's episode 2 of the anime? Yes. This is chapters 2 and 3 of the manga, smooshed together into one episode. So in this episode, Botan, the Grim Reaper, flies Yusuke, our main protagonist, to the River Styx, or the underworld. As it's not hell. Don't think of like hell or heaven. It's just a different world. It's where dead people go, essentially. Yusuke plans how to fight King Yema. He's going to go see King Yema to see what King Yema wants to do about this spirit that shouldn't be dead. And so Yusuke's like, I'm gonna pull on his ear. I'm gonna punch him in the nose. Maybe kick him in the crotch. Like, I'm gonna figure out ways to fight this big scary monster. And so when they walk in, they hear, well, hello there. And Yusuke's looking around. He's like, where's this big scary King Yema that you were telling me about? And he goes, down here. And he looks down, and we meet Koenma, the son of King Yema, who appears to be a baby. He has a big blue hat. Look him up. He's so adorable. A big blue hat. He has a pacifier. He's wearing like a diaper. You can see a diaper. And he appears to be a baby. And Yusuke just totally just laughs at him and makes fun of him and is like, yo, I'm putting my afterlife, I guess, into the hands of this toddler? Like, what's going on? And Koenma says, I just want to let you know I am 50 times older than you. Like, I have lived for centuries, right? I've lived for so long. And you're over here dissing me. Koenma says, even though you're a rude brat, I am going to give you an option. I'm going to give you something that you can do about this predicament that you are in. So Koenma gives him a golden egg. And he says, what you do in the afterlife is going to fuel this egg, right? So if you go around haunting people and being a total douche like you are, this egg will fill up full of evil. And the creature that will hatch out of this egg will be a monster that will devour your soul, and you will cease to exist anywhere. Not heaven, not hell. You will just be gone. You won't even have the luxury of existing, right? If you are good and true, then this creature that will hop out will bring you back to life. And Botan says to Yusuke, you probably, if we're going to assume that you're going to be a good guy here, right? Because this is a big assumption, because Yusuke is, kind of an ass. She says, you need to go and tell the people that are watching your body not to burn it. Because, Yusuke was supposed to get cremated, and he goes, if your body gets cremated, you have nothing to go back to. Then we'll have to deal with that. We don't want to deal with that. So Yusuke freaks out and says, how do I tell people I am dead? I don't know if you remember, Botan. I am dead. I can't just make a phone call and be like, yo, let's not burn my body, y'all. So she says, you can communicate with people through their dreams. That's where people are more susceptible to spirits, is in their dreams. So Keiko is sleeping at night, and Yusuke comes in to her dream and says, Keiko, like, you can't burn my body. You can't get rid of my body. I'm coming back. And she is not convinced. She's upset that this is happening. She's like, why would I get this kind of dream? This sucks. You know, that kind of dream where you wake up and you're like, is that real? And you're just kind of shooken up from it, even though you know it's a dream and it's fake. And so he goes, well, that didn't work. And his mom, I think he tries his mom, and it's like, she's like, this ain't gonna work. And so Botan says, you can possess people for a limited time. I think it's like an hour. An hour. You can possess people that have high spiritual energy. And he goes, how do I know if anybody has high spiritual energy? And so they go looking around, and Botan goes, actually, there is somebody that's very close to you that has high spiritual energy. And she goes, it's Kuwabara. If you remember Kuwabara is Yusuke's rival, the person that Yusuke beats up all the time, and Kuwabara says, like, I'm going to kill you, and all that kind of stuff. She says he has a wild amount of spirit energy, actually, so you can possess him for an hour, and then use him as kind of like your telephone. And so he does it very reluctantly. So he possesses Kuwabara, he has an hour, and he gets into some really like weird situations as he's possessed because of Kuwabara's body. So for example, like, people jump him to beat Kuwabara up, not knowing that's Yusuke in Kuwabara's body, and Yusuke just beats the crap out of him in Kuwabara's body, and the thugs are like, wait, I thought this was the weakling Kuwabara, how did we just get our butts handed to us? And then he, like, goes into Keiko's house, and Keiko's not there, but he starts talking to Keiko's parents, and it's like, hey, it's me, Yusuke. And his parents are like, Yusuke is dead, you sniveling little ignorant prick. Like, he was a good boy, and you're in here insulting him, because all they see is Kuwabara saying, like, I'm Yusuke. And so they get offended, and so they kick him out. The dad chases him out. The dad cooks ramen. And so he has, like, this ladle, and he, like, chases him out. It's like, get the hell out of here. And then he's like, well, I only have, like, 2 minutes left, and I'm not going to find Keiko. And so he's sitting and looking by the river, and he's like, there's no way I'm going to find Keiko in this 2 minutes. Like, my body's going to get burned. Until he looks down, and he sees Keiko sitting on the beach by the river. And he goes, no freaking way. So he runs down, jumps at Keiko, and just grabs her by the chest. He just totally grabs her by the chest. And she turns around and yells, knock it off, Yusuke, and just smacks Kuwabara's body just in the face, where Kuwabara goes, like, flying. And she turns around and sees Kuwabara and goes, oh, I'm so sorry. Like, I thought you were somebody else, and this is even weirder that you're not that person. And Yusuke in Kuwabara's body goes, no, it is me. It is Yusuke. And she's like, it is. Like, I know by how you are acting and how you are talking, like, this is bonkers that you possess somebody's body and are trying to tell me something, but how you're acting and how you're talking, I know this is you. And so he goes, you can't burn my body. Okay, do not burn Yusuke's body. You cannot burn my body. And he explains the deal. He's like, I will come back. Just have faith. Like, this is another one of those scenes where it's like, I get, like, a single tear runs down my face. Because it's just like, he's just like, Keiko, like, I will be back to see you. Just don't burn my body. And she starts crying, and the time wears off. Kuwabara's sitting there like, oh, what happened today? And he's, like, all beat up from the bullies, and he's, like, has the smack on his face, and he's standing there with Keiko, and he's like, well, hey there. And she goes, no time. And she just runs away. And so Kuwabara's left there so confused with some injuries, and it's just like, oh. And Keiko runs to Yusuke's mom and says, don't burn the body. Don't burn the body. You can't burn, like, he's alive. He's going to come back. Don't burn the body. And she sees Yusuke's mom sitting there crying, and she goes, I I went to open up the coffin to just beat him one more time for dying on me and leaving me alone. And he's warm. And his heart is beating. My boy is alive. He's going to come back to me. And they sit together and they just weep for like the rest of the night. And even as I'm saying this, it's like I'm tearing up because it's such a beautiful scene, because it's funny and beautiful at the same time, because it's like this mom's gonna go beat her dead son for dying on her, and then she realizes like he's alive. My son is going to come back to me, and it's like super beautiful. And so that's the episode. That's episode 2. And it's kind of it's kind of just a fun episode of hijinks that Yusuke gets in with Kuwabara's body. And it's actually, in the manga, it's actually split into chapter 2 and 3 instead of just one episode. And because one of the main differences is that through chapter 2 and 3, through this whole Yusuke trying to get somebody to not burn his body and meet with people and talk with people, there is interlocked this story about Keiko taking care of Yusuke when he was sick. So the story is like Yusuke's out in the snow and they're playing, and he's playing too long and he gets sick. And Keiko tells him, they were like little kids, and Keiko tells him like, hey, you know, you gotta be careful or you're gonna get sick. And Yusuke's like, whatever, because he's a punk, right? And he gets sick. And his mom is out partying and doing what she does, or she comes home and she's drunk. And so Yusuke doesn't really have anybody to take care of him, so that's when Keiko takes care of him. And it's really, really sweet. I don't know why it's not in the anime, because something about Yoshiro Tagashi and his writing for Yu Yu Hakusho and Hunter x Hunter is the character development is so deep. Like, he pretty much says, like, this is a battle manga, but also I want you to give a crap about the characters that I am taking time to create. So it makes Keiko more important to us. You know what I mean? She's not just this girl in the manga or anime, because sometimes that happens where it's like, oh, there's just a girl, cool, because there has to be a girl. They don't want the show to be a sausage fest, so let's just add a girl. But like, this makes Keiko like a childhood friend, a love interest, one of the only people that one of the few people that truly cares about Yusuke, even though he's a douche. And it really makes you give a crap about her and their relationship together. And it's like, even though you know this manga is going to become like a battle manga, and we're going to have like a tournament called the Dark Tournament, or an arc called the Dark Tournament, and then we're going to fight demons and stuff in the future, you give a crap. You're like, you want these two to be together forever, and it's episode 2. You know what I mean? And it's episode 2 of a battle manga, right? And you want these characters to be together. That's how just dope Yoshiro Tagashi's character development is, because you care about each and every character. Another very small difference is King Yama's palace looks like a throat in the anime. I don't know what that means. I don't remember that. Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah. In the manga, I don't think they walk down a hallway, like Botan and Yusuke walk down a hallway in the beginning to go to King Yama's place. But in the anime, they have like a scene, because they need to take up time, essentially. They have a scene of like Yusuke and Botan walking down the hallway, a throat. It's really cool. It's like they're walking down the throat into the stomach of King Yama. It's like, it's just cool imagery, because it's like you are at the mercy of this king of the underworld. And then you run into Koenma, who in the manga has a bib too. In the anime, he has like a scarf or something, but in the manga, he has like a bib. I think it says something like, it might say like daddy's boy or something like that. So it's like this, it just really exemplifies the fact that Koenma is a baby. It's like, It's like, do you need, like, this guy's already a baby, but just to make sure you know, I can rub your face in it that this is a baby. And it's really cute, even though in the anime, I guess they try to make him cooler, I don't know, by giving him a scarf, but it's a bib. I feel like I just busted all that out real quick, but I think that is it for that episode. We have how Yusuke is going to come back. We have how the character development between Keiko and Yusuke. We have finding out Kuwabara has high spiritual energy, which is like, what does that mean? For most of you probably know that like Kuwabara is going to be a main character throughout this show. If you look up anything to do with Yu Yu Hakusho, you're going to see Kuwabara there, and then you're going to see two other figures that I'm not going to tell you who they are yet. But you're going to see that there's 4 main characters, really deep character developed characters through this whole show, and one of them is Kuwabara and Yusuke, of course. And so that kind of hints at where we're going to see Kuwabara, and that Kuwabara is special. Even though he's like such a blockhead and a goober, he's special. Let me see. In the next episode of Yu Yu Hakusho, I should say in the next episode of the Spiritcast, because the next episode of the Spiritcast is actually going to be only manga stuff. Yeah. Yep. There is not going to be anything to do with the anime in the next episode of the Spiritcast. It's all manga, because there is things that happen in the manga that they did not put in the anime, and I will tell you how I feel about that when we get there. So thank you for listening to the Spiritcast. This is Yu Yu Hakusho Fancast with me, your host, Lakippi the Wizard Boy, of one of my favorite animes of all time. The wonderful song that is at the beginning and the end of this episode, this podcast, right? It's called Smile Bomb by Sarah White. So blare that. I can listen to that song literally anytime ever at all ever. It's just such a good song. It's like it's known as being like one of the best intros of like all animes, and it is literally the intro song for the whole entire anime, which doesn't happen often. In anime, they switch the intro songs and the outro songs. Not in Yu Yu Hakusho. The whole anime, the intro song is Smile Bomb by Sarah White, because it is the shiz. Feel free to check out my other stuff on my channel. I have like playthroughs. I'm trying to write stories that I have literally sitting there, partially done, but I haven't put out yet. Mixture of the holidays and me working extra. So I've kind of been like AFK a little bit. Feel free to check out that other stuff. Spirit Gun, that subscribe button. And Spirit Sword / what is Spirit Sword? Oh, I don't know. What's Spirit Gun? Yeah, you don't know any of that yet. Oh, do that. do those things. Do those things you don't know. To the subscribe button, the like button, the notification button, if you believe this all deserves that. If you believe it deserves a like, share, subscribe, notification button, go ahead and do it. If you don't, I'm glad you're listening to the lights going on in my mouth. Thank you for nerding out with me, and I hope to see you in the next world, the spirit world. Have a wonderful morning, day, evening, night, whatever you are listening to this, and peace!